Hi, I'm Kim Coco, founder of Swagtail and the Flexible Golfer program. Today's mini session is going to be about how to incorporate a new tool into your yoga practice, a resistance band. I love these Victorem bands. They're durable, they're soft on the skin, and they also help you train the muscles to build strength in the arms. You can also grab a block today if you want to do that as well. We're going to work on some spaciousness in the hips, some strength and stability in the low back, all while building the muscle memory of the arms and the shoulders so that you have stability to set you up for success as you work towards more strength-based poses and inversions. Now, I grabbed the middle band size because when I actually put it around my upper arm bones, just above my elbows here, my elbows are shoulder distance apart. And you can actually see that from the side as well. So what poses would need something like this? Pincha Mayurasana, forearm plank. Even if I extend the arms, it would be in tabletop pose. So we'll get into those as well. For now, let's go ahead and start in tabletop. So you can set your block aside for a moment. Make sure you have it close by because you are going to use it. I recommend placing the strap around the upper arm bones so it's above the elbows, like just above the elbows, so you have room to move. And let's just start in child's pose for a moment. You can bend the elbows and let your head and neck rest. You might even create a little cushion, a little pillow for your forehead with your resistance band. And just take a few cycles of breath, starting to more consciously tune into your practice. Even though it's a shorter period on the mat, trusting that you're using this time intentionally to build strength, to create shifts in the body, and to become the next best version of yourself. So seal in the intention you have for this time here with your next breath in. Fill it up around the heart and the lungs, into the low back. Exhale, let it all go. On your next inhale, come to fingertips and maybe lift your gaze. Take the shoulder blades down the back. And then so as the shoulders are stabilized, lift the right fingertips, take them out to the side and center. Exhaling out and back in, keeping the belly button engaged, core is strong. You're working on taking the right arm out to the side, strengthening lats, rear delts. You might even feel it all the way in the back of the shoulder, the rhomboids. Come back to center, replug in on both sides. Imagine hugging the fingertips back towards you as you lengthen the spine forward, and then as you exhale, take the left fingertips off to the side and back in. Keeping a steady gaze, neck, face, shoulders soft as much as you can, even though you're engaging the whole left side of the body, the lats, the rear delts, everything on this side. All those shoulder stabilizing muscles. When you're even, come back to center and rest back down. On your next inhale, come up to hands and knees. So now you're in tabletop position. And as you hug the hands toward one another and press the floor away, you can actually imagine spreading the upper arm bones apart, which creates a little resistance on your strap here. And then the knees will be underneath the hips. And let's go ahead and start by keeping the spine long, all the natural curves there, and then slowly just melt the heart between the shoulder blades actually draw together as the heart melts forward. And then exhale, press the floor away and create space between the shoulder blades. So you're still pressing into the floor and resisting the strap, pressing the strap out to the side as you take a couple shoulder blade push-ups, just wrapping the shoulder blades around the rib cage, knowing that by having the band in place around the upper arm bones, you're building that strength and stability while you create mobility around the shoulder girdle. Now from here, go ahead and tilt the pelvis forward, melt the whole spine toward your mat, maybe look up into a nice deep cow pose. Exhale, tucking around, starting with the low back, mid back, upper back, and tucking the chin. So taking a few rounds of cat-cow, but this time having a little more awareness that your arms are creating a stable base from which to move your spine. Take a few more rounds just like that at your own pace. As you press the floor away, imagine splitting your band with the upper arm bones as your spine moves. And then come back to neutral on your next exhale. So now here, imagine your whole spine is long. Imagine your belly button drawing toward your spine and just sneak your right leg back in space. Now notice here, your arms really have to press the floor away and they're going to split apart slightly to broaden the collarbones, and then keep everything in place and just lift your right leg off the floor. Ideally, the low back still can inflate with the breath. You're not just arching the low back. You're keeping the low back curvature normal. So from here, as you exhale, turn the toes out to the side and draw the right knee in toward the side of the body, keeping the low back as still as possible. Draw the knee in toward the chest. Inhale, extend back out. So ideally, there's no movement in the low back. Exhale, externally rotate. Take the knee off to the side. Nice and slow here. Take an inhale. Draw the knee to the chest. And exhale, back out. So one more just like that. Inhale, turn the toes out. Exhale, knee to the side. Imagine the low back staying exactly the same as it is. Knee to chest. And back out. And pause here. Notice that there's this strength in the arms to help hold you here. And then exhale, right knee toward chest, keeping the low back the same. Inhale, out to the side. Exhale, internally rotate so the back of the foot comes up. And extend, but keep the low back as still as possible. As you exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, externally rotate, taking the knee out to the side. Keep the low back as still as possible. Exhale, internally rotate. Knee comes toward the floor and toward the midline, and right foot comes up. Inhale, extend back. As you exhale, knee to chest. So keep pressing the floor away, resisting the band out as the hips start to build some heat as well. Internally rotate. And then extend back out and pause. Maybe reach all the way out with the right foot. Belly button toward the spine. Step the foot to the back of your mat. Tuck the toes under. Pause. And then see if you can press the floor away. Imagine spreading the upper arm bones with your band and then coming back into a downward facing dog. Just saying hello. The hips will feel different. There might be a little bit of slack on your strap just slightly here, but imagine there's a broadening across the collarbones to expand it. Exhale, return back, tabletop. So you might notice, actually pause for a moment, sit back, rest. Notice that your arms are probably a little fatigued, maybe is a good word, or energized, or full of sensation, whatever word you want to use. You're actually creating more awareness. You're using a whole body experience, even though we're moving just the legs. So keep that in mind. We're broadening across the collarbones. You're pressing the floor away, hugging in, broadening as you break the strap. Imagining you're going to break the strap. It's not going anywhere, right? All right, so from here, second side, keep pressing the floor away. Hug the hands in toward one another and then broaden the collarbones as though you're going to split the strap, and then reach your left leg back. Draw the belly button in towards the spine so the low back stays long. And then we're just going to take the same thing second side. So take your inhale, turn the toes out to the left. Exhale, keeping the low back as steady as possible, just move the left knee toward the left shoulder. Exhale. Actually, you're going to inhale, take the knee toward the center. And exhale, extend it back, low back, again, as steady as possible, arms as steady as possible. Inhale, toes out to the side. Keep pressing the floor away, splitting this band apart with your imagination. Inhale, knee to chest, broadening across the collarbones. Inhale, extend back. So pause here. Inhale, turn the toes out to the side. Exhale, left knee toward left armpit. Knee to the center as you breathe in. Extend the left leg as you breathe back out. Again, the low back should be as still as possible. Your arms are as strong and steady as possible. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, extend the left knee out to the side. Low back is still and steady. Internally rotate, left knee toward midline, left foot up, and extend as you breathe in. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, come to the knee to chest. Inhale, out to the side. Exhale, internally rotate. And exhale, extend. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, out to the side. Exhale, internally rotate. Inhale, extend the leg back. Pause, notice the strength here. Press the floor away with the arms, break your strap slightly, but keep a micro bend in the elbows. Reach the left foot to the floor, come to plank pose, broadening across the collarbones, bend the knees, press the floor away as you lift the hips up and back, and maybe take your downward facing dog. Let your head rest on your strap. It's kind of a perk for being here. It's a good reminder to let the head and neck go. And then as you exhale, release back down, child's pose with the strap or without the strap. Your choice. Take a few cycles of breath. On your next inhale, slowly come back up. We've got a couple more poses here to build some strength in the upper body with the awareness around the strap, as well as some deliberate movement of the spine once again. So, same thing. Strap around the upper arm bones. And then this time, we're going to go ahead and come to forearm plank. So this time, this helps set you up perfectly because I can press the forearms into the ground, pull the strap apart, broaden across my collarbones, and then sneak my feet back, coming into forearm plank pose. So we're going to pause here and just build some strength for a moment. So really we're using this as a way to train the arms, to really press the floor away, broaden across the collarbone, to give you a structure from which to build length, to create space. Belly button draws toward the spine. Reach back through the heels. Hug the elbows back toward your body and the toes back toward your body as you broaden across the collarbones. Take 2 more really nice deep cycles of breath here. As you exhale next, slowly start to walk your feet in for dolphin pose. Right? Same things apply. The strap creates the structure. The head and neck can totally rest on the strap. Take another deep inhale here. Exhale, release the knees to the ground. This time we're going to keep the strap in place for support. And you can hug the hands together if that feels better, and almost bring your head down like you're going to go into headstand. And then use the strength of the strap. Press the forearms into the ground. Pull the strap apart and round your upper back as much as you can. Knees are underneath the hips. And then all you're going to do is inhale, start to tilt the pelvis forward, dropping the lumbar spine 1 vertebra at a time down towards your mat. And then exhale, start with the upper lumbar and start to press it back up toward the ceiling until you round the whole lower back again. Keep pressing the floor away. Imagine splitting your strap. Inhale, just melt the low back. Lumbar, one vertebra at a time, creating a gentle back bend. Keep pressing the floor away. The upper body is rounding as you slowly just move each part of your lumbar vertebra. Keep pressing the floor away. Split your strap. Inhale, slowly melt one lumbar vertebra at a time toward the mat. Exhale, press away. And then inhale, draw forward with the torso, come back to your forearm plank and pause. So building a little bit of heat in a short amount of time to create some strength, to create some space, to really train the musculature around the shoulders to stay steady as you move the rest of the body. Take a couple more rounds of breath here. Broaden across the collarbone, so split the strap apart. With your imagination, keep pressing the forearms down into the floor. Shaking is good. Reminds you you're alive. And as you're ready, one more time, walk it forward to dolphin. You can always bend the knees more generously to move the hips up and back in space. Otherwise, take a couple more rounds of breath where you're at. At the end of your next exhale, slowly release back down. Pause in child's pose. As you inhale next, slowly come back up. We've got one more to kind of use the strap as a way to stretch out the lats and the shoulders. So if you have two blocks, grab them. You can use a bolster underneath the upper back if that feels better. I'm going to go ahead and set up like I would for a back bend, a gentle back bend here. So I'm going to place one block at the mid-back section just behind the heart. And I'm going to leave the other block up high, or you can take it down to the middle level so you have evenness on both sides. If this is too extreme, you can go to the lowest level for both. But ideally, you just want to find a place that's comfortable. And then as you're in your luxurious back bend here, you can stay, right? This would just be a good place to stay, but I always like to open up my lats in a nice way after just strengthening them and pulling back with the strap. So using the strap just above the elbows one more time creates that sense of a little bit of resistance. I can bend my elbows so I keep my elbows safe. They're not going to go too far out to the side. And then I can literally rest the strap across my forehead and get a nice deep breather into the sides of my ribs, the lats, the serratus. I can let my head and neck totally rest down. I can knowingly relax here that my elbows are not going to go wider than my shoulders. They're going to stay safe. And this is not only a way, I can also use the strap to prepare for the flexibility that's needed for some overhead back bends, like Ekapada Raja Kapotasana or King Pigeon, or even King Dancer pose. So we've used the strap for strength, and now we're using it to rest and to open. few more cycles of breath here. Or can you let go and find some ease after the work? Use your inhale to slowly return the arms back up overhead. Release the arm strap that you have. Carefully roll off of your props. Move them off to the side and come onto your back for just a few moments in Shavasana, just to really take note of the work you've done to create space in the hips and the low back, the spine, the upper thoracic region, the strength and space in the shoulders. Notice the heaviness of the body here, while simultaneously aware of the ease of your breathing. And then deepen your breath, sending the breath down to gentle movements of the fingers and the toes, just creating a nice little stretch with the whole body, taking the knees in toward the chest, maybe rocking a little side to side before you roll all the way onto one side and press your way up to a seat. Taking a moment to pause with the hands at the heart, just aware of how a brief few short minutes can change your energy level and your perspective and give you more vitality and creativity and inspiration to move into the next segment of your day. So I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Check out some of these resistance bands by Victorem. They're a fantastic prop to keep in your yoga room. And I will see you in our next class. Namaste.